Alright. What is up, Hot Dog 7? Today, we're going over the patch notes. Alright.
One of the better GMs, I must say.
Yeah, GM Dominion this time. Unfortunately, it's not GM Says, because he is top tier. But, let's see. Lots of updates this time around. So far, I've seen a little bit about the Espa ladies. They look pretty good. So, yeah, let's just start from the top. Espa collab coming out tomorrow after the maintenance. There will be a maintenance tonight. Yeah, so number 1, Epic 7 Espa collab. If you haven't heard about this already, they're doing this collab, so that'll be cool. Some K-pop. 6-week collab, so lots of time to get stuff done. Title screen change. This is the thing everybody's been waiting for. You got all 4 K-pop stars front and center. Very cool. Tap to sync. Oh, that was on purpose. Cool. So they changed tap to log in to the tap to sync. Lobby illustration update. You can set the collab illustration as your lobby after you acquire one. So cool. It looks like there are some new lobby illustrations. So instead of having just the regular old tavern, you can have this sweet fantasy K-pop dreamscape as your lobby. Oh, and it looks like they moved the shop guy and the hoochie. That's crazy. Okay. Next up, because they're coming out with some new heroes, the new Espa heroes, and there are 4 of them. And obviously, unless you're a mega spender or you just have a mega cash saved up, no way you can get all these heroes from just your regular bookmarks. So they're giving us some special Espa bookmarks. So that's cool. You can only use them to summon Espa heroes during Espa banners, so keep that in mind. But we will be getting some Espa only bookmarks. Next up, there's a side story coming out. This will probably have a lot of rewards. Probably useful to do. So yeah, take note of the side story. It will be in Policia. So that is, so it looks like there are some story requirements if you want to be able to do this. You have to complete stage 210, so beat area 2 if you want to get into this side story. Here's the schedule. It'll start after the maintenance on Thursday, on Thanksgiving, so that'll be cool. Black Mamba will be played as the BGM. Oh, cool. So they're bringing in some more K-pop music, Black Mamba, and some new music. Yeah, so everybody who's into the music player, get ready for this epic new tune track. Week 1. So I guess it seems like they have a weekly schedule where they buff different heroes based on the week. And the first buff will be Winter. So cool. Navis's control room. I'm not sure what this is. Let's see if we can figure it out real quick. So you can acquire special rewards from Navis's control room by spending Unity points collected from the special side story. Cool, so by completing the side story you get some currency, and it looks like there's a way to unlock Espa characters without necessarily just summoning them. So if you grind enough in the special side story, it looks like you can unlock aeWinter just from side story. So that would be really cool if that's how that works. And that's what it seems like here. So yeah, cool. Maybe you don't even need to dump all your bookmarks into this. Stages. In the special side story, you step towards Kwanya. Regular stages, story stages, and multi-difficulty stages will be available. In addition, Goblin's Den, Multiple Habit, so cool. Regular side story stuff will be there. Cool. Okay, story stages. There are also some story stages, if you like the story. Very cool. Here's the farm level. You'll get these catalysts. Cool. That's interesting. Looks like they're throwing out level 51 gear here instead of whatever, level 42. Power creep is real. Yeah, so here we go. Goblin Den, Mulgore Habitat. Cool. Alright, so what is next? Yeah, it looks like we get some gear up here too from the side story, so that'll be cool. Illustrations. After completing each chapter, you'll get a new illustration. Cool. Artifact. Common 5-star artifact, so everyone should be able to get this for free. At the end of the turn, it's a scaling, ramping up 5-star artifact. Scales up to 10 times. This could be usable in PvE, maybe. It looks like if you can get 10 turns in Abyss or something, then maybe this could be a lot of stats for one of your guys. So keep that in mind. Pet. Navis's butterfly looks super cool. Pets are super useful in Epic 7, so if you want a cool looking pet, this might be worth spending all your extra World Boss pet tickets for. Looks pretty cool in my opinion. Illustration pack. Yes, here's some extra gear that I was talking about that they teased earlier. Very cool. All of this gear is usually decent. It's usually coded in to roll better than normal gear. Unfortunately, it's only level 78, so you can't reforge it, but if you want to get a head start on maybe a barrier set or something, this looks good. Good PvE attack set. Alright, now we're into the juicy stuff. New 5-star hero, aeWinter. Hero who likes gaming and knows how to lighten up the mood with her bright energy. aeWinter can proficiently wield any weapon in existence. Cool. It's like that one dude from Fate Stay Night. Yeah, it's super cool one. Meet the new limited 5-star hero, aeWinter, who is currently in Sync Dive with Winter in the Drop Rate Up event. So yeah, there's this new banner coming out tomorrow after the maintenance, and she looks good, in my opinion. Yeah, she looks good. I think she's going to be super usable, and I don't know, with all these new heroes that they're coming out with, I think a lot of them have the potential to start shaping the meta a little bit. Some of these heroes that they've come out with in the past, like Arunka, don't necessarily do too much to the meta, and sometimes they focus entirely on countering overpowered heroes like Hwoyong with like the Teiyu, Yulha, big shebang of like an endless supply of heroes to try to counter Hwoyong. But now it seems like maybe they've worked through a lot of these design problems, and most of these heroes that they're coming out with seem to be good and usable, but not necessarily game-breaking. Yeah, so aeWinter, we'll talk about her skills in a bit. She seems like good and very usable. Yeah, so she's going to be a red fire thief. And yeah, let's just run through her skills real quick. Her first is more of a utility skill. It has a 30% chance to stun, and you can soul burn it for 100% chance. So nice utility skill like Payra. We all know how annoying that can be. Her passive is the bulk of her kit, which makes her usable, I think. So at the start of the battle and at the end of the turn, grants stealth for 1 turn. So super cool. She can't be focused down. She's going to be sticky and be able to keep using her moves. But the big deal here is after an enemy uses a non-attack skill, dispels all debuffs from the caster and activates level up. Debuff, dispelling effect, and level up can only be activated once every 3 turns. Goes down to 2 turns, so she can do it as frequently as Selene responds to non-attack skills, so that's pretty cool. Selene and Politis. Level up. Grants immunity to the caster for 2 turns and fully resets skill cooldown of Blackout. So, what should you be thinking for this? Those pretty toxic openers like Conquer Lilius and Lua, you can play Winter into them, and she's going to do a good job. So Conquer Lilius, she uses her non-attack skill. She cleanses herself, so she doesn't have the non-attack skill. She gives herself immunity and fully resets Blackout. So if maybe Lua reset her cooldown, then she gets her Blackout move back, and she can go again. In the case of Conquer Lilius, she has a 2-turn immunity, so she can't be provoked. So she can still do her thing, even against some of these like more toxic meta opener units. Yeah, one more thing to note is it's not confirmed, but this might be able to be used with something like Secret Arts Storm Sword. Yeah, so the next level activating with Secret Arts Sword Storm would make it so if somebody uses a non-attack skill, then she jumps up 24% combat readiness, steals the next turn, she cuts, and yeah, that could be a super good build for Winter. If you're running her kind of fast, you want to interrupt some speed cleave plays, that could be super good. Third, so she attacks the enemy with various weapons and stuns for 2 turns. So that's a big highlight here. A 2-turn stun increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%. So turn cycling, always nice. Critical hit will deal an additional 5,000 fixed damage. Increases fixed damage by 5,000 every time the skill is used, stacking up to 3 times. So cool. The fixed damage sort of implies that like you don't necessarily need to build her full crit damage attack. If you want her to deal damage, all you need is this critical hit, which is nice because you're probably going to want to build her a little bit of effectiveness for this stun for 2 turns, and maybe some speed too to try to interrupt people's plays. Yeah, that's cool. Her stealth makes it so she can survive longer, and maybe ramp up this blackout damage. So that's super cool. If you're hitting 15,000 fixed damage on a hit, then I don't know, you're probably going to end up winning. So that's cool, this scaling mechanic. But ultimately, I think this is going to be nice because of the 2-turn stun. It's going to break. You're going to be able to lock down people like Mediator Cowrick. lock down anybody normal for 2 turns, they're going to have to cleanse to get rid of this stun. Otherwise, that unit's sort of just out of the match, which is a super big deal. So I think this character is going to be great. Maybe even a nice Spez girlfriend if that's the deal here. Spez, indirect Spez buffs everybody. So cool. Artifact. Yeah, we got our flat crit chance, which is always nice. Only having to reach 85 crit chance is super nice. You can focus those stats elsewhere after using a non-attack skill. Grants a barrier equal to 60 per level for 2 turns. So this is super cool. I don't think it's necessarily going to be great for this character. But maybe on somebody like Spirit Isolene, who, if you're running a torrent set, maybe this 3600 shield is going to be over half her health, which would make her like an independent, super sticky, hard to get rid of Spirit Isolene, which I think would be a cool idea. Yeah, so overall, Winter, I think she's going to be good. She has, I guess we didn't see it here, but she has high base speed. I think it ends up being 119, so she'll be super usable. She looks good. Yeah, I recommend summoning. Yeah, so that banner's coming out on Thursday. Lobby improvements. You can set different themes, so that'll be super cool. I think this is mentioning that lobby background that they talked about earlier, where it's not just the pub. So that's cool. We can do illustrations now, if you have a favorite illustration. It looks like you can customize your own, which will be cool. Yeah, if you like Schoolgirl Angelica, you can do that. Cool. New 5-star hero, Zio. I'd be surprised if you haven't heard about this guy yet, but he is going to be an absolute monster, almost guaranteed. So really cool things coming to Epic 7. Lots of new, good, usable units. Zio, he's a mage. The new Moonlight hero coming out on next Thursday after the maintenance. And he has low base speed, 106 base speed, but because of his skills, he's basically going to guaranteed get the first turn, which I think is going to be very cool anti-cleave option. Cleavers are going to want to pick him first almost every time. He's a mage, he can hold book, he does a lot of stuff. So yeah, let's just get into it right now. We'll start with his third. So his third says attacks the enemy, dispelling 2 buffs before silencing for 1 turn and decreasing combat readiness by 30%. So think Assassin Sid probably, with the exception of dispelling 2 buffs. Basically lock somebody down in multiple different ways. Even going through stuff like immunity. That way, it sort of just like kicks them out of their turn. Silencing too, decreasing combat readiness 30%. So any different way to sort of get around that 15% resistance chance of the guy who you hit is not going to get the next turn. So real cool there. Grants Deify to the caster for 3 turns, which is a new buff. Penetrates the target defense by 100% and cannot trigger a critical hit. So cool, penetrates defense, can't trigger a critical hit, so you don't need to worry about building a bunch of crit. When the target is a hero, damage dealt increases proportional to the target's current health. Cool, or not super sure if that means it's going to deal more damage to tanks than not tanks, or if it's based on percent HP, but cool. the higher health somebody is, the more damage it's going to do. Not necessarily a big deal because this guy's going to get the first turn and attacks people with full health every time anyways, but yeah, this is where we sort of start to see this guy's kit. DFI. When attacking, increases critical hit chance by 50%, and when attacked, decreases damage suffered by 50%. So this buff, super OP. You're always going to be able to get it because of his skill 2, and he's always going to go first. So yeah, he's never going to be locked down by unbuffable or anything. So increases critical hit chance by 50%. Great, you don't have to worry about crit chance, which is a super stat hungry requirement, so you can focus on other stuff like maybe torrent set, pen set. Cool. Decreases damage suffered by 50%. That's super good. Don't think I need to explain that. When more than one damage reduction effect is granted, only strongest can be applied. DFI cannot be dispelled. Super nice. Don't have to worry about unbuffable. Cool. Yeah, so when you skill in hand, yeah, they get pushed back more. Cool. Second, his passive, probably his most important skill. At the start of the first battle, increases combat readiness by 10%, up to 20%. Unaffected by effects that reduce combat readiness, increases the caster receives. So this can't be countered by Politis. Yeah, so basically, even though this guy only has 106 base speed, if you get up to like 260 base speed on this character, he's in essence, even if he is like already the fastest person, it sort of depends on who has the highest speed in the match. But before even speed RNG plays a role here, he starts with 20% combat readiness. So like the quick math here is plus 20% of his speed if he has the highest speed. So 260 times 2. He's going to have 312 speed, not 260. And if they have maybe like a 310 ran on their team or whatever, then his base speed is going to scale up via that number. So 20% of 310, you get an extra 62 speed. So your Zio here, I almost called him Ludwig, but he's gonna have 322. So yeah, even if they're running super fast characters, if you can get them up to like something that's pretty attainable, like 260, you're pretty much guaranteed to take the first turn, or you at least have a huge speed threat on your side of the field. So really cool, good solution to this whole speed game that they've been coming out with. So cool. His first attacks the enemy with a spear. It's a single target before increasing the attack of the caster for 1 turn. So he does a hit, gives himself an attack buff. When the caster is deified, activates disappear as an extra attack. So he hits once, and then does another attack. Not somebody like Closer Charles, who just changes his first attack when he has his buff. So that's super cool. Disappear can only be activated once per turn during the caster's turn, so no counterattack shenanigans. Disappear attacks the enemy with a sword storm, and when the enemy is defeated, increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%, penetrates the target's defense by 50%. So cool, mega defense penetration. You can stick this guy on penetration set, and he's probably going to deal like, this is probably going to be like a Rylet hit. Likely going to kill any squishy target and do mega damage to anything who's not squishy. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 50%. Big deal. If he manages to kill somebody, he can turn cycle. Cool. I expect, yeah, overall, I think this character is going to be super meta, super big game changer. He's a mage, so you can put him on book. He's going to be useful in cleave. Yeah, his soul burn, dispel all buffs from the target. Don't think that's going to be necessarily crazy useful, but yeah, overall I think this character is going to be super good. If you like to do PvP, probably a must pull if you have the resources. Yeah, very cool. Another note about Zeo is he's a boss character, which means he doesn't have a regular RGB counterpart, which means they sell memory imprints in the shop for 10 gold transmit stones each. So that's very nice. You can max out his imprint. Cool. New exclusive equipments. Oh gosh, this is going to be a long video then. We got some for haste. We got crit chance. Super nice. Haste got his buffs to be like an off-brand ran a while ago. Let's see if any of these are going to be useful. So far, he hasn't made a big change in the meta because he's not as fast as Ran, and he doesn't quite have the utility. Increases combat readiness of the caster by 50% when using Amphoist Scythe. Cool has a 75% chance to inflict bleeding on target for 2 turns when using Amphoist Scythe. I think these are his S1s, which doesn't seem that good. A Vampiric Seal decreases cooldown of Vampiric Seal by 1 turn. I don't know. I don't think this is going to be that big of a game changer. I don't think this is much at all besides just like a stat stick for him. Make him easier to build. We'll see, but I don't expect this to do that much for haste. Bomb Model Canna. Effectiveness. I don't really know what this character does. I think she's like a PvE character, right? Has a 50% chance to make the target unable to be buffed for 1 turn when using quick bombardment. Stance shift increases speed and dual attack chance of stance shift striking chance by additional 5%. I think that's pretty good. Yeah, because that's like her niche, right? Is this stance shift, an extra 5%. No complaints here. Full bombardment makes the target unhealable for 2 turns when using full bombardment. Maybe this will be good for like Golem or something, or wherever you use her in PvE. Assassin Sid. Alright, so they did the Sid, because yeah, if you gave this guy anything besides effectiveness, then that'd be pretty crazy. But we have Slice, which is his S1, increased defense down. So don't think anyone's really going to use this, but it's a nice buff. Swift action with this swift action's effect. When an enemy dies, grants increased attack greater instead of increased attack to the caster. So if you're killing people a lot and you want to deal more damage, you can do that. Execution, probably the skill everyone's looking for. Dispels 1 buff from the enemy when using execution. This effect is applied before inflicting silence. Yeah, alright, so now Assassin Sid dispels immunity before he hits somebody, so cool. And he's got a little bit of effectiveness to help him do it. Cool. So yeah, none of these are crazy game changing. Maybe this is just a PSA to everybody that says like, hey, these characters still exist if you want to try using them. That's what it seems like to me. Cryo Banner, probably not what anyone's really looking for right now with the Espa stuff. Custom pack, cool. If you like to spend, this is probably worth getting. Yeah, so adventure and story, typos and bugs, hero bugs. Cool. New and returning 7 New and returning player 7-day growth guide. Cool. Moonlight Hero recruitment event improvements. So cool, they're making this more visible. Lots of extraneous bug fixes, so great quality of life things. A number of fixes. It looks like maybe there were some bugs with these new features that they've been implementing, like the background battling stuff. Always good to see improvements there. But yeah, that's coming out on Thursday, Thanksgiving. Very cool. Lots to look forward to. Lots of new heroes to build. If your Grace of Growth is filled, maybe think about clearing that out here. Because, yeah, there are some new heroes that are coming out that probably worth it. Cool. Well, I think we're going to wrap it up here. I know this girl has been teased already, and she looks like she's also going to be pretty good. So we'll come out with a new video about that in a moment. But yeah, that's the news. That's the update that's coming out. Lots to look forward to. They even snuck in that exclusive equipment. That exclusive equipment drop in here that seems to be completely overshadowed by everything else. But yeah, tons and tons of new stuff. So, very cool. Alright guys, we'll wrap it up here. Peace.